next speech by Dr. Fass. So I invite Dr. Fass, who's going to talk about Communicate Connect.
Thank you. Good evening. Raise your hand, how many of you had the situation that you walked in a grocery store and you saw somebody from your office or maybe your boss and you start hiding from him. You wouldn't want to talk to him and just pray, help me God, help me God. I don't want to talk to this. Have you ever had that situation? I did. Some people are so miserable, we don't want to talk to them. Most of the time, it's your boss. Same thing, how many times you unfriend on your Facebook just because of offensive comments they make politically, religiously, or sometime about food, sometime about something. So, just because they don't know how to communicate with people, this is the problem. And in human life, to survive, to succeed, communication is the base. If you can't communicate right, you will go nowhere. So you have to learn, even a kid learns how to ask mom what he needs. And like an old saying, if you don't ask, you don't get. So communication, tonight, in next few minutes, I will try to give you some good hints which you can utilize in your daily life as well as in your professional life and in your personal life. So let's start from there. Most of the time, we hear, but we don't listen. So you have to understand the difference between hearing and listening. We hear the noise because according to Stephen Covey, when he said in this book, that majority of the people, they are intended not to understand, but they are intended to reply that person. And we are thinking our reply before we understand what he's saying. Like it happened last week, or last meeting here with me. We had the same Toastmaster, and I messed up. I was a general evaluator. I was supposed to have an active listening. And she told about table topics, and she told about, and I was blank. So that was my fault. And I was guilty when I was driving back. I said, what the hell I did? Because I was not paying attention. Sometimes you have to avoid, if your spouse is talking, don't pay attention. That's okay. That's okay sometimes, for a good reason. But overall, you have to have an active listening. And most of the time, how many of you usually go to the network event? Can you raise your hand if you go to the network event? Because networking is very important nowadays, whether you go on social media or whether you want to go one-on-one. But unfortunately, we lost our one-on-one or face-to-face conversation because according to the study by UCLA, that 33% of our young generation, average, they do 100 texts to each other. 33% of the popular, this generation, they don't talk to each other, they just text. So we are losing that communication skill. So let's get back to the basics. So we have to understand how to go in a networking event, and that's going to help you how to start this communication with people, face to face. So first of all, there is a rule. When you speak, you know the words which I'm saying right now, what percentage of words is important in your conversation? It's only 7%. 38% is your tone of voice, tonality. people want to hear, right? And the rest, 55%, is visual, your body language, how you're saying that. So people are very busy writing great speeches, but they don't know what their tone should be and what their body language, they are disaster. So don't focus too much on wordings of the speech. It has to be simple and easy so everybody can understand, but make sure your tone of voice should be right. And your body language has to be perfect. The second thing, connecting is beyond words. Like I just mentioned you, 3 components, face to face, and you see words, tone of voice, and body language. And mostly, it's over 90% has nothing to do with your words. When you walk in a networking event, there is a rule. It's called 12 by 12 by 12. Do you know what it is? Any of you? I thought that one of you were in BNI or something. They usually teach those things most of the time, Business Network International. And the 12 by 12 by 12 is how do you look when you walk into that room from 12 feet? Are you dressed up right? In a business network and you are going in your Hawaiian shirt and shorts with the sandals, probably people are not going to take you to connect for the business reason to that. So you have to have a proper dressing or proper look. Then the other 12 is how you are at the 12-inch distance, means when you come direct, what's your attitude? You know what happens most of the time? People, they start talking negative. Do you think anybody wants to do a business with a person who's already negative? We just met, we don't even know each other, correct? You don't want to do business with them. Or talking about stuff which you don't have to. Like, hey, what religion you belong to? Can you think, are you going to do business with them? Off the bat? No, because your attitude is not right. So you lost that. The last 12 is the key. What are the first 12 words should come from your mouth? Like mine is, I help business and individuals to grow through coaching, speaking, and training. It has to be 12 words. You don't have to give a big speech. And after that, you start conversation. And how we are going to keep the conversation going on. I just met a stranger, all right? So what should I talk first? Family. Don't go in detail, just to start asking about family. Then it should be all open-ended questions. Never ask close-ended questions. Like, for example, are you going there? What's the answer is going to be? No or yes. But why do you going there? Then he's going to or she's going to tell you the details so you can understand. So you can open up. I'm going to keep the rest because I'm going to show you a little demonstration here. So I need a volunteer who I know least. So I want a stranger here if they want to watch. Come on.
All right.
Thank you for volunteering. I'll just keep you before we start this session because I'm going to pinpoint where we make mistakes and where we don't because it's a teaching session, all right? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So now we don't know each other, we just ran into each other in a networking event. So how I'm going to start my conversation? So I'm walking to her because, first of all, a lot of time people, when they are talking to each other, they try to insert there. That's not a right way. If somebody is open like this, just like here, I'll walk, and how I'm going to start. So first thing is first, you have to have a smile on your face to make it pleasant. Hey, how you doing? My name is Faz, and yours?
Sirisha, how are you?
Nice meeting with you. It's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Yeah. What does it mean?
It brings wealth and happiness.
Wow, so you're a wealthy lady.
In the name.
To start from name.
Yeah.
Okay, do you live around here?
I live in Chesterfield
How long you been living here?
for the past 8 years.
Wow. What do you like here in this area?
It is close to all the malls and the
Oh.
central attractions, and
Wow.
the schools are really good.
Good, good. So it means you have kids.
Yes, I have 2 girls,
How old are they?
14 and 7.
Oh, what class? Like what grades they are?
First one is in 9th grade and the second one is in 2nd grade.
What are their names?
Nitika,
Nitika.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Dishika.
Dishika. What does it mean?
Nitika means she's an angel of precious gems.
Dishika.
Dishika is the girl who shows right path.
Wow. So did you get from some like?
Numerology and astrological, they have to start with these
Oh,
names.
yeah.
That's
So
all.
which is more difficult to handle, 14 or 7?
14 now, obviously.
So my point is, you just notice I'm not telling about myself, I'm asking about her family, and everybody loves to talk about their family, especially when they have kids. Got it? So I'm trying to make this for her to tell, because I'm here to know people. All right? I'm not here to sell people. I'm here to know people. Okay? So which one is more difficult? You said.
14, teenager,
Okay.
High school.
Why do you think that?
tantrums.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I am a software professional,
Okay, how long you been in this profession?
15 years.
Wow. So did you have any degree from?
I have bachelor's degree in information technology and engineering.
Okay, so are you a private contractor or you work for a
I'm a
company?
full-time employee of
Oh.
Dell.
Oh, wow, that's a big company.
Wow.
How many employees are there? Like
100,000.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's worldwide.
You're lucky. That's good, that's good. So, beside raising your kids
Mm-hmm.
and working for a Dell type company, what else you do, like as a hobby or as a fun?
I love gardening
Okay.
and I like to watch TV by myself. Sometimes with your family around everybody.
Wow, that's
Just
an
to have
interesting-
private time.
Yeah, I mean, watching by myself is a very
That's
interesting
great.
comment, yeah?
Yeah.
But what kind of gardening you do?
All like vegetables and
So, you
Flowering.
learn or you just you do
I just
experiments?
No, I just experiment different mango tree. I raise mango
Oh,
tree.
really?
Wow.
You can raise
Just by-
mango here?
Just in the summer weather, I put the seed which I ate.
Oh, wow.
It came from the seed.
No, but
I put it in the winter inside,
Uh-huh.
and in
Oh.
the summer I move it outside.
Oh, my goodness. So, are they really good mangoes or?
No, not yet. I just started this summer.
Okay. So, what else? Like, do you like sports or something?
Sports, I'm not a sports person.
Okay.
I like to have fun.
Neither do I.
Watching TV and movies and spending
Good.
with girlfriends, not with boys.
Ah. So you're a very restricted lady.
Yeah. So I came from India. That's why.
No worries. So, what brings you today in this meeting?
I want to learn the speaking skills and communication skills, as you said. Like I would like to explore my talking skills, and I want to improve upon your skill set. That is why I'm here to learn.
Why it's important to use something?
It's important because I'm a test lead role.
Mhm.
I'm a leading role in the company, so I have to interact with many of my employees, and if I present it well, I can connect more with my coworkers. Then that way, they will get my information easily.
Mhm.
Then they can be more productive, I feel.
Oh, great,
That
great,
is why
great.
I'm.
So, do you know other groups around here where you go out for networking too?
Networking, this is why I'm here at Toastmasters, as well as like through Dell also we have some other events like Bhumi World. That is happened in Washington recently, so I went to that event as well.
Awesome.
So we have 1,000 customers all
Wow.
over the world. So that's
It's
how I
really a
connect.
pleasure meeting with you, and I'll keep you in touch and just keep me posted, all right?
Thank
Nice
you so
meeting
much.
with you, thank you. So, I started from one person, the same thing I'm going to do during the network. Don't spend too much time with one. Like what happens, people go in a networking event and they say, Anu, it's good talkative lady, let's talk. Now they spend a whole 1 hour. You are here to do networking, not just chatting, okay? So I have to know her, and you saw that I am not bragging or telling or selling anything. I'm just asking about herself. And now she's gonna feel good too that somebody took an interest and asked about family, my personal interest and all that. So if I'm gonna send an email later on or I'm gonna connect with her, she will be very comfortable to talk to, correct? So this is called, I like how you start your conversation. So the first thing, like you saw, I was talking about family. Then second thing, I asked, what do you do for a living? So you notice that I was asking about her occupation. Then I was asking about her recreation, like gardening and all that. So now I know her hobbies and all that. So it's a lot easy if you have in your network somebody, you know, they like gardening, and if you see an article or something, you can email them that I thought that it will be of your interest, and now you're helping them.
Yeah.
And last, I was asking what brought her here. What was her motivation? So when people come to the networking event, obviously they have some motive there to go. Unfortunately, everybody wants to sell. One of my friends, actually, I was in a meeting, and he walked to me and I said, do you go out for networking? He said, Father, I hate networking events. I said, why? I said, I went so many times, everybody wants to sell, nobody wants to buy my product. So I said, what's the difference between you and them? You are complaining about the same stupid thing which you want to do. So people go there to sell. No, networking events or conversation are not meant for that. You go to tell, not to sell. Who you are, introduce yourself, because people don't buy your product till they don't trust you. So it's called, first you have to have a visible in the community so people know who you are, what do you do for a living. Then you have to build credibility, that you are credible, because nowadays even if I say, well, I'm a software engineer and I want to hire, you say, oh, I can provide you this and that. First thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to Google you. So I want to see how credible you are. Should I trust you? Then, at the end, profitability comes in. And then you can do the business. So, these are the questions which I just said. Do you care for me? When you want to connect with a new person, he's going to think, or she's going to think in her mind, do you care for me? Or, can you help me? Because that's why I'm here in the networking event, to connect with you. And last but not the least, can I trust you? So keep in mind, whenever you go and make a conversation with someone, it's not about you, it's about someone else. And make sure you don't tell. I have seen the worst thing, and you have also noticed, maybe everybody has that experience. I walked to a guy, and they both were talking, so I was standing and listening to them. So she said, we just came back from Bahamas. Oh, really? I was there too. Oh, where did you stay? Oh, we were in such and such place, she told. Oh man, that's a dirty place. I was in that. Now, do you think it's going to connect them? Because you're confronting and you're losing what excitement she just had, and you are trying to tell, no, oh, where did you eat? Oh, we were in that Mexican place. Oh, no, that's not that good. Three blocks down, there was a great restaurant where I ate. So now, what kind of connection you are going to have? So these kind of stupid things we always see, and we even sometimes we perform that way, which we do unintentionally, not intentionally. So make sure, be conscious about that. Don't offend somebody, or don't mess with their excitement and their whole thing, because they want to tell you, listen, it's called eyebrow test. So when somebody's telling you, if your eyebrows goes like this, it means you lost it. And if you say, people say, oh, they are listening to me. So always listen carefully. And that's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. So always listen twice before you say. So conversation, making with anybody is not a difficult thing. I'm a very introvert guy. People think I'm an extrovert. Honestly, I'm very introvert. I'm a very shy guy. But as a Toastmaster, I don't care. I can stand up and talk. Because that's what I learned from here. And this is the reason we come here. And we want to make sure that we show our Meraki here.